That looks a little bit better. Project Motor Racing. It's safe to say that right now, Project Motor Racing is a rather ambitious and anticipated title. The sim racing community at the moment has got plenty of choice when it comes to sim racing titles and just racing game titles anyway. And some of them can span back as far as like 20 years almost. Like the original Assetto Corsa is 11 years old now, and you can go back even further to games like GTR 2, which was released in 2006. So yeah, it doesn't matter what time period you're in, you've always had something for the sim. Even the arcade ones as well. You've got like Forza, Need for Speed, Automobilista 2. But unfortunately, something over the years has slowly crept in to the sim racing scene, and it's something that nobody likes, even though it's very convenient. Subscription services. You see, the Netflix business model has kind of just crept into everything these days. You don't really own anything anymore. It's all subscription services, whether it's stuff like Adobe, your music, so you got like Spotify. Like we used to have iTunes, and now we've got Apple Music. Now, where this started off, obviously, is iRacing. iRacing for the longest time is like if you want to race something, you pay a monthly subscription, you buy the cars, you buy the tracks, and then you can go race. And in a way, if you pay that subscription fee, it's like it makes you think, oh, I need to use this thing because I'm now paying for it. And recently, my favorite sim at the moment, Le Mans Ultimate, has started doing the same thing. I mean, it's nowhere near as egregious as iRacing, but there is a subscription service where you can get access to more races. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, it's because there's a little game, you might have heard of it, that's coming out, and it's called Project Motor Racing. You see, Project Motor Racing is going to be a spiritual successor to the Project Cars franchise, which I'm actually very excited for because that was the sim that I got into first, was Project Cars 2. We won't talk about Project Cars 3, the less said about that, the better. Project Motor Racing is essentially going to be the Project Cars 3 that we never got. But looking upon their Twitter page very recently, I saw this. No subscriptions, no paywalls, just racing. Get ready to race the world in ranked online. Scheduled start times, monthly championships, driver rankings, 2 leaderboard modes, no fees, no fuss, just fun. See you on the grid. Now, what this tweet essentially does is highlight my biggest gripe as to why I don't like iRacing. Now, technically, I shouldn't like Le Mans Ultimate either, but it is just less egregious. You see, for the longest time, iRacing has kind of been rinsing the community of their hard-earned cash. Now, I know some of you might have just gone, shocking, but unfortunately, we need to look at it for what it is. See, the reason why I don't race in iRacing anymore is because it's too expensive and a bit greedy, if you ask me. Now, when you sign up for iRacing, you get a set number of cars and a set number of tracks that you can go and race on willy-nilly all day long, do whatever. And you pay a fee of... how much is it again? The price might have gone up again.
iRacing is a sim racing game.
Is it now? Wow, okay. Anyway, it is still £10 a month. Now, believe it or not, I'm actually okay with the idea of having a subscription service for a racing game. However, there is a very big caveat to that because yes, you get the best online racing. Yes, the force feedback and the physics, well, they've got their gripes, but the majority of it is positive. But you pay the service, and then if you want to race in a specific category that isn't part of the subscription service, you then have to pay extra for that. So not only do you have to pay for a subscription monthly, you then have to pay for all of the cars and tracks that you want to race on. And these cars, they're not cheap. You would expect, because you're paying for a subscription service, that you would pay like 50 cents for a new car. No. That's simply not the case. You pay £10 a month and then you pay £10 per car. Per car! The average price of the cars is $11.95. There are cars that are slightly cheaper, those are known as the legacy cars, but the racing tracks can go for as much as $15. Like, can you imagine signing up to Spotify, paying a premium, then finding out that you don't have access to the entire library and you have to pay for each song that you want to listen to individually? It's kind of like if iTunes didn't switch over to the subscription service. They just implemented a subscription service and then you had to pay for each song. It's basically like that. Also, notice that I'm on the iRacing website, not logged in, and scrolling through the cars, even clicking on learn more for some of them. What's the one thing that you just can't see anywhere? That's right, the freaking price. You only find out how expensive these cars are once you've signed up and logged in and subscribed to the subscription service. I don't know about you, but I think if you're gonna charge extra for the cars. You should have a big price on the page. Now, somebody did some totting up of how much all of the content in iRacing costs altogether, and it comes to $2,113. And you have to pay a subscription fee on top of that. Now, why I still don't like this is, like, how many cars do we get in iRacing a year? 3, 5 at most? And then we get 2, maybe 3 racetracks a year. Probably not even that. I remember one year we only got 1 racetrack for the entire year. And guess what? Yes, you also had to pay extra for that. Now, this brings me neatly onto another little game called RaceRoom. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of RaceRoom. I've never been able to get on with the way the game drives. I'm not a big fan of the force feedback. A lot of people like it. It's just not for me, that's all. However, the game is free. It's a totally free game. And with the base game, you get a bunch of cars and tracks that come with the free package. So if you want to add anything else, then you can pay for that. And for me, that's how it's done correctly. Have a free game, and if you want to add other things, then you can pay for it. iRacing, on the other hand, is literally having its cake and eating it too by having a subscription service that you pay for and then pay for everything else. I know I'm not making any friends with this statement. However, it is pure greed at its finest. iRacing is one of the most popular games for its core online competitive experience. This is my problem. Either have a subscription service and then all of the cars and content in the game are free, or you have a free game and then you pay for whatever you want to race in. One or the other, Blimpy Bill. Now, what I'm personally hoping for is that this Project Motor Racing game that will be coming out is going to upset the apple cart a little bit and cause games like iRacing and LMU to rethink how they go about selling to us. Because don't forget, LMU is also doing something not as egregious as iRacing, but you buy the game, you pay for all of the DLC, and then if you want to do extra races, you then have to pay a subscription. Now, you don't have to do the subscription. You can still just buy the DLC and then go and race with the races that you were given as many times as you want. Now, one thing I did forget to mention with the LMU subscription service is this thing, because you've got 3 different tiers when it comes to this subscription fee that LMU offer. So you've got the light, costs nothing. This is basically what you get out of the box. Race Control Pro, you get a little bit extra. You get your custom liveries, online championships, all that spiel. But more importantly, with the Race Control Pro, it is roughly the same price as the iRacing subscription. However, the most important thing here is that you get all of the LMU DLC and all of the rFactor 2 DLC, because this subscription service isn't just for Le Mans Ultimate, it's for rFactor 2 as well. That being said, you don't get the DLC if you've got the Race Control Pro. You need the Pro Plus one. And I have to say, I really like the way LMU is like set up like daily races and weekly races. I think it's brilliant. In fact, I am actually going to be doing a 2-hour Le Mans race tonight. But Project Motor Racing has got me excited because the idea of just no subscriptions at all and you can just get in and do competitive racing, it's effectively what GT Sport and GT7 do. It's coming to other consoles other than PlayStation. And from what I've heard about Project Motor Racing, my friend Gamer Muscle has already had a go at using like a test build and driven around in it. And I have to say, it sounds great what they're bringing. Don't get me wrong, we still have to keep a good amount of skepticism when it comes to this, because this happened with Project Cars, the first one. It came out, it didn't quite hit the mark. Then Project Cars 2 came out, there was this huge amount of hype around it, and again, it didn't quite go or hit the levels that we were expecting. But the things that they did bring to the table was immersion. Like Project Cars 2, I still believe is the most immersive simulator, especially when you put VR on it. It's still the best, I feel. But only time will tell to see what Project Motor Racing is going to be like. But if Project Motor Racing is as good as they're saying it is, it's everything that we expect and more, it may just cause games like iRacing to back off from helping themselves into our wallets. Bailey's already bought the game. Dear Bailey, please go touch grass. Anyway, wow, look at this. It's another video. I do have to say a big thank you to all of the people that are still watching after all this time. I'm effectively starting again with this channel and just throw stuff at the water. Throw stuff at the water. Throw stuff at the wall just to see if anything sticks. But yeah, more videos coming. Take care. Subscribe. Channel sponsors. You know what to do.